I walk in truth, they cover up lies. They all scales on the same snake. Since they won't expose the list, I will.
Hey, President Trump, I thought you was our guy, but your name's either on the list or you were compromised. Telling lies to the public and you playing both sides. Just another puppet for the CIA and Mossad. Too many secrets to hide. Epstein's still alive, it wasn't no suicide. Tell me why we're protecting pedophiles, suppressing 9/11 in the JFK files. The left and the right wing strapped to puppeteer strings. The whole government is trapped in a blackmail ring. Perverts running the White House and the media, obsessed with molesting underage teens. Fuck CNN, Fox, and the BBC, the FDA and the CDC. Fuck the mainstream, nothing but drag queens and vaccines. Big pharma turning kids into Xanax fiends. Israel finessing for them USA checks. The greatest threat to Zionism's a DNA test. Tucker Carlson was right, and Candace Owens isn't an anti-Semite.
Nope.
Just because a person hates Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't mean that person's a racist against all Jews. Pedos and Nickelodeon and Disney World. Using casting calls to prey on little boys and girls. Predators in Hollywood isn't just a rumor. Most of these movie stars are sick recruiters and groomers. Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, you should be convicted felons because you're hella degenerate. Half the rap gang work for Central Intelligence. Bunch of gay gangsters sucking off record executives. Free Tory Lanez is obviously innocent. Rock Nation framed him for a crime that he didn't commit. Too much evidence, did he strictly a scapegoat? I question if Biggie Smalls ever gave him some deep throat. Lord forgive me for dissing the dead, but we discovered a lot of hip-hop legends were feds. The process to win an Oscar or a Grammy destroyed more black men than the Kardashian family. Nowadays it seems even Eminem's a controlled op. He went feminine and talks like a woke robot. Vanguard's buying up everything and they won't stop. Bill Gates plotting with population control shots. Dr. Fauci's a scumbag liar, getting rich off a virus is a con man for Pfizer. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the Illuminati. We thought Trump was the real deal. Tricked into thinking MAGA was the red pill. You start to wonder, was his movement a front? And his assassination a publicity stunt? Every corporation selling out to BlackRock. Hunter Biden smoking crack rock, buzzing semen on his laptop. Masturbating in the Oval Office. Epstein files on the desk, but they hold him hostage. And I'm here to expose that knowledge. While the deep state distract you, promoting toxic. Pushing fake news through the schools and college. Cause propaganda's more profitable to being honest. A chess game for the Khazarian Mafia. Epstein probably hiding on a yacht in Slovakia. Still flying private jets with the Obamas and Clintons. Full of British royalty and compromised politicians. Zionist elite playing financial positions with a group of Luciferians disguising as Christians. APEC pushing hush money through the lobby. I'm America's voice speaking for everybody. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the Illuminati. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the deep state. Fuck the Illuminati.
All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Triple B. And today, I thought we'd talk Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and everything going on a little bit. So it's kind of clear to me and everybody else, I think, that everybody's just picked a predator and they're just running with their favorite at this point. So a lot of what I'm going to be talking about, especially moving forward, I'm not going to hammer on one politician over another. You know, I'm very excited to see the Clintons go to hearing about this, I believe, later this month. And what I think is going to happen is they're just going to all start eating each other alive and selling each other out. You know, our politicians are just as fractured as Antifa. Nobody's getting out of this unscathed. So, you know, I've been seeing a lot about the Clintons. I've been seeing a lot about Trump. I've been seeing things about Elon. I've been seeing things about a lot of Democratic politicians. I've been seeing things about Hollywood. You know, I'm seeing all the things, trust me. But, oh my God, it's not worth fighting over anymore. You know, yeah, in my head, there seems to be less to do with Trump, but the fact that he's in there and the fact that, Jeffrey Epstein might be alive, that's a possibility. Like, that is a genuine possibility right now. He'd have to know if he was in witness protection. So there's something going on. And I think we all deserve answers. And I don't think it matters whether you voted for Kamala or Trump or Bernie or Gary Johnson or any of these people over the years, Obama, Bush. I think we're all getting fed up and we're all starting to see something very insane. You know, at this point, I'm telling people for years, it's not just that they're fucking kids, it's that they're eating kids. It's that, they're training them to be little honeypot assassins. It's that, there's warehouses full of these breeding programs, and they're trying to use these children to get into contact with interdimensional beings via sacrifice and blood rituals and, adrenochrome and all of this. And these people are shape-shifting, and there's people who believe in transhumanism and lycanism and vampirism, and we've been called crazy throughout all the years. But over this past week or two, it's kind of cool to see the rest of the world catching up. It's horrifying because I was right, but a lot of my interest moving forward is going to be in the satanic ritual abuse side of things, and a lot of more the occulty alien type stuff. Because I think that this in itself, it's not just a pedophile bust. This is disclosure. And I think it's disclosure that's happening against what the powers that be want. So if we pay close attention, we're going to learn a lot about aliens, interdimensional beings, sacrifice rituals, cults, different occult orders. We're going to be learning a lot more about secret societies. But what I think is really going to happen that's scaring me is these people have assets all over the world. They have assets embedded within every major world government, from Israel to the United States to the United Kingdom, the World Economic Forum. Jeffrey Epstein is tied to a lot of UFO programs, particularly in the New Mexico region. I think there might be a reason why there was a UFO at Trump's assassination. For those who haven't seen that, go and check out my Xenophile series. I think that there's a secret army. They're being activated. They're connected with cartels and gangs and politicians and human traffickers and drug dealers and all these things all over the world. And I think that this is going to be a spark for war, because they're going to do everything in their power to hide their misdeeds. But, sunlight is the best disinfectant. So much is coming to light. I noticed there's a TikTok trend. I don't use TikTok, but I've seen it on YouTube and whatnot. There's these kids with like rainbow hair and septums and, the classic little lived out kids. They're turning to Christ. They're paying attention to this because it's weird. How could you not? And they're doing that, and they're now referencing the Bible and sharing that with each other, being like, maybe we were wrong. This is leading to, a furthering in this awakening process. And I think the best we could do right now is just not demonize each other, not pick one pedophile over another. Some people, maybe you're not ready to accept their pedophile. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're being slandered. Maybe Donald Trump is completely innocent. Don't fight with your neighbors over it. Don't scream in the comment sections over it. Everyone's going to have different pieces. Just put them together. It makes for a great conversation. We can talk openly now about fucking child sacrifice and Satanism and reptiles. Society's just accepting it. Capitalize on that. We're not each other's enemy. These kids were from different countries, of different races, gender identities, different backgrounds. They weren't just going after like Democrat kids or Republican kids or white kids or Mexican kids. They were targeting everybody. So maybe it's not about picking a fucking side. Maybe it's just about recognizing evil for what it is and not letting these assholes get away with it. So I think that Donald Trump, in my opinion, right now is failing us on this issue. I think that there's a lot being hidden. A lot of these responses are very shady. I'm very disappointed with a lot of the response of how things are going. Even with the ICE raids and the deportation, I'm so happy to see mass deportation. I'm sorry. A lot of these people in ICE are retarded. They pick some fucking jocks off the fucking street. And there's a lot of stupid decisions being made because of that. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that, my job early on in Antifa, what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to help defund the police department, right? So they don't get money for good equipment, better training, all of this. The training part being the most essential. The training got stripped out of a lot of things. So you can't just go on and create this little paramilitary force and bring all these people in if you haven't strengthened your training programs, because it's very clear that a lot of these police departments too are broken. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on this. I just think that a lot of things are being handled very sloppily, and I think it's worth discussing and drawing attention to. That's it. All right, guys. Peace and love. Y'all have a good day.
I'm taking another path. I'm going whatever. It's time to live in it's just like what I just gave the people advice to, the people, it's late at night, but the people that I just gave advice to about the house slave and everything in the way that you, the composure that you should have in someone's home. I'm giving advice to people now that live in this country. Choose the pedophile you agree with. Choose the pedophile whose values are yours. Who is the pedophile who has a pro-business attitude? Is there a pedophile who cares about the climate? Is the who wants better schools? Probably all of them. What pedophile has the viewpoint that you align with? What pedophile believes in infrastructure? Who is the pedophile that's going to keep us out of costly foreign wars? Who is the pedophile who's going to make sure your children have a shot at the American dream? You cannot ask that they don't fuck kids. You cannot ask that. It's a bridge too far. Stop being greedy. Who is the pedophile that when they speak, you go, man, I relate to that guy. Not on everything. Not on everything. Not on everything. Not on the having sex with kids, which I'm sure he does because all of them do. But God, do I relate to the point he made about tech or whatever. I don't know, but that's the thing now. You just have to go with the pedophile who makes the most sense to you personally. And you're going to argue with your wife about it. It's not going to be easy. John, he's a pedophile. Honey, listen. Our taxes have been going up year after year. It's hard to pay the rent. Don't you want to own a fucking house? Johnny has sex with children. Honey, listen to me. I don't agree with everything this man does. John, this isn't about policy. He's a pedophile. Honey, I understand your concerns, but I work all goddamn week and I can't get ahead. And they're all pedophiles. I want this pedophile. He's going to be good for us, honey. He understands that a man like me needs to get his beak wet with money, not with children, with money. I want the beak wet with money. You'll have to clarify that. Me and this guy, we get it. Not everything. We don't get it all. Some of it, I don't understand what he's doing. But I know, honey, has sex with children on an island or, I don't know, is somewhere, and he throws them into a furnace afterwards. And I don't agree with any of that. But that tax cut could be the down payment on our first home. Don't you want a home so that our kids can play in the yard? That pedophile's going to do that for us. We need a pedophile who's on our side. When do we get a pedophile who's on our side in this country, honey? A pedophile who's not going to get us into wars. What about a pedophile for peace? A pedophile for peace. When the Mossad emails him those tapes, he goes, so what, boys? So what? You got me fucking a bunch of kids on an island. But guess what? This war's not in our interests. Honey, it took a lot for that man. And then the women will start to get it too. They'll be like, I got to be honest with you. I really didn't like, and they'll say this at town halls. They'll be like, I just want to say that I really judged you just because you are a pedophile. But when those videos came out of you having sex with those children and then murdering them, and then you still didn't send us, my son, into war, you kept your pledge and promise for peace. I said, you know what? You might be a pedophile, but you've saved a lot of lives, and everyone's going to clap. And they're going to go, that's a pedophile for peace. Finally. This is going to be the new campaign ads. You can't blackmail me. I'm a pedophile for peace. Sure, a couple of videos came out of me having sex with a mask on in a barn with a couple of younger women of questionable age. But I didn't shrink when I was blackmailed by the Mossad. I didn't shrink. I didn't send our brave men and women into war. I sat there and let them release video after video of me violently assaulting children while I said to myself, I'm not going to put my country in harm's way. I won't do it. I'm making investments in the future of this country. Sure, I'm a pedophile, but I'm a pedophile for peace. These war-torn pedophiles want to sacrifice your children. I just want to have sex with them. I'm a pedophile for peace. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Are my predictions ever wrong? Lizzo's kind of thinner now.